Hi, this is Jim Sackman, your Focal Point Business Coach. And again, we're talking about building your team in our Success Friday videos. And this time, we're focused directly on the interview process itself. And I want to talk about how you do an interview because nowadays I don't see a lot of people with good interview skills. And I think that's really important. So, what's the first thing to know about an interview is how many people are they going to talk to? Now, if you're a sole proprietor, it's just you. But if you've had a referral for this person, you should talk to that person as well and understand what they talk about. But it's more important if there's more than one. And even a relatively small business, if you've got an office manager or somebody that's a leader within your business other than yourself, you should always get a second opinion, even if you personally are going to be the only person who makes the decision. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is each person can have a different role. If you're the host, if you're the hiring manager and the owner of the business and the person who's going to make the decision, you want to have a really good relationship with the people that come through the door. And if you've got some particularly hard questions or some touchy areas that you want to go through, then it's better to have somebody else ask those questions. Um, Another thing that you can consider is having a background check done on people that gives you yet another second opinion on the person. Now, in California, there are some restrictions on what they do, and you probably should consider hiring a specific private investigator to do that kind of work. It's a relatively modest cost for something that could impact your business both positively and negatively in a different way, in many ways. So, there's some things to be clear about when you're interviewing. And the first one is the rolling why, which is all about asking and answering open-ended questions. So asking people about what they do, how they do it, why they do it, and with many follow-up questions that are open. Why do you do this? Why did you do that? Why did you leave that job? What's important to you? So if you ask a lot of yes and no questions, number one, the interview will be very short. And number two, you won't get the kind of information you want. What you really want is the person to open up to you and give you all kinds of information about what they do, how they do it, why they do it, and find out if that aligns with what you need. The second thing that's really important is references. Now, people are really reluctant to give references, but you should get them. You will be shocked, absolutely shocked, by what you get out of them. Now, if you're an employer and somebody calls you for a reference, you're only really allowed to give uh, dates of hire and whether they actually work there and it matches their resume. So you're not really looking for past employers as references. You really want personal references, whether that's friends, family, former coworkers, anybody that knows them, and then we'll talk about them. And that's what you need to specify because employers should not be giving out that kind of information. And if somebody calls you for a reference, you should only verify employment because you can get in trouble if you do more than that. And finally, you need to listen to the candidate's questions. Now, I talked about this last time a little bit, but I want to elaborate here. Candidates will tell you what they care about by the questions that they ask. Now, if you get questions about money, then you know they care about money. If they want to know what kind of people they're working for, or if they want to understand, how many hours a week it is, or a lot about the job environment, you'll understand their concerns. And when you understand what their concerns are about employment with you, then you'll get to understand their motivation. And beyond what you can find out of a background check, it's one of the ways that you can understand what the person's like as an employee. Now, one last thing that you need to care about, and this is really important, especially if you have more than one person interviewing. I've been on interviews and been interviewed where I had people who broke up their roles and had different people ask me different questions, but they were for completely different jobs. It was the strangest thing I've ever been through in one particular case where they were asking me extraordinarily senior questions and then questions for like somebody coming straight out of school. And I really didn't understand what they were trying to accomplish. And so if you're going to have roles and if you're going to have clarity, make sure that you're aligned around the kinds of questions that you're going to ask, the things that are important, and around the job description, and that everybody understands what the job that the person's going to do is. Anyway, this is Jim Sackman. Focal Point, change your business, change your life, and you have a great day.